Hi there guys, George here, and as you can see, what I wanted to do is bring to you a live replay, semi-live. I'm pre-recording it and then uploading it to UFile, and it's a starter kit scenario. I would like to do this starter kit scenario, perhaps another full ASL scenario, and then probably do another segment on uh, paratroops, and probably um, do an overview of the rules and play example as well, using a DIY scenario, I suppose. It will be semi-historical or whatnot. Yeah, semi-historical, and try and incorporate a couple of elements that will be interesting. So that's what's up for grabs, I hope. Knock on wood. We'll put on our thinking cap because we do need our thinking cap for this one. If you hear a lot of commotion in the background, that's my son playing. Uh, Forget that name of the game. Something about Clancy. Yeah, I think it's. I'll figure it out. I'll let you know later. All right. So scenario: Start kit S12 over open sites. We're in the midst of the um, Battle of the Bulge in Luxembourg, and the Volksgrenadiers are going up against the 107th and 108th Field Artillery Battalion of the 28th Infantry Division with an ELR of only 2. And their objective is to knock out these guns. So the victory conditions, my computer is lagging today. The Germans win immediately upon capturing or destroying all American guns, and there's only 3 of them, 2 of which have rate of fire and the other one does not, but I hate to be in the way of a 155 with HE ammunition. So I've already played a couple of games solo, and remarkably enough, the Germans won. If I only can have as much luck when I play against Monty, we'll see. So let's get to the scenario. I already started a log file, although it was a bit premature. Let's get to the scenario. Yeah. So here's the map board, and basically what the um, Americans do is that I just showed you the scenario card, and I have the hard copy here. The Americans must set up, first and foremost, the infantry can set up anywhere on the board on hexes numbered greater than or equal to 3. So this is where the green arrow is here. And less than or equal to 7. So you're giving an allowance of some freedom of movement for the Germans to come on board. The artillery guns, however, here, have to set up on hex rows GW. That's not supposed to be a 6, it's supposed to be a G. In hexes numbered greater than or equal to 3 or less than or equal to 7, and must be greater than or equal to 2 hexes from every other gun, and greater than or less or equal to 2 hexes from every building. So they're confined to this space here, because if they weren't, you would set up one gun in each section of the board, and then the objective for the Germans would be a little bit impossible. So they're confined within this hex row and that hex row in hexes numbered greater than or equal to 3 and less than or equal to 7, but at the same token must be away from at least 2 hexes away from each other and 2 hexes away from any building. I suppose what the designer wanted to achieve in that respect was to disallow immediate routing into rally terrain. Well, it can be 2 hexes away from a building, but if that was the case, they would also say something about woods. And I see a couple of instances where You can set up your guns in such a way that they can route into woods, and that wouldn't be wise because the German does have a mortar that can come on board and really wreak havoc. Mortars don't like woods. So the first question is um, how to best set up your guns, given that the Germans can practically come in either on three different sides of the board, up to three different sides, from here to there, from here to the other side of the board, and from here to there. And there is an obvious, not such an obvious advanced path, um, given that the Americans also have a mortar. Um, so let's put those guns on the board and see what we can do with them. So I would like to have the guns with the rate of fire on each flank, and here um, you have to ask yourself, what would you rather incur? Would you rather incur a, a, a substantial penalty for moving your covered arc, and that's what you'd have to do if you were in woods or um, or orchards, or would you rather have a free covered arc, uh, more freedom of movement, and that's what I would elect, because if you have a +6 uh, detriment to your um, cover arc change, then hitting a infantry target at 8 is a bit hard. And worse if your opponent is I was about to say concealed, but there is no concealment in this game at this juncture. So far it looks like we're good. So far it looks like we're good, kind of. Hmm. So I like the fact that I can cover this area here and this area here there, and I do have a, a rate of fire on that one. Here, like I said before, I don't like the fact um, that there's orchards here, so I have to do some quick thinking. And maybe such, and then the big one, uh, 2 hexes, it's greater than or equal to, so there. So now we have this wide open space covered, and here we have this space covered, more or less. And then we have one gun in reserve over here that will take care of business should the Germans decide to come in through this side of the board. Now, I'm pretty happy with that. These are reinforcements. Oops, we gotta give them some crews. Don't forget the crews. And they possess, and they are in place. Now, what's on the right side of the board are buildings, and that's all fine and dandy. But we are concerned about a headlong attack for one reason or another. We're also concerned about an advance through the woods. Um, so, so what we're going to do is, What shall we do? First and foremost, we're going to give this best machine gun to the best leader, like so. Now, if we have, if we pair up the mortar with a full squad, you can use this inherent firepower and use the mortar fire, which is great. But if we give it to a half squad, then what's going to happen is that they won't be able to use their inherent firepower. So what we're going to do is we're going to give the mortar to a good orderly squad, good full squad, and then we have four half squads, and what they're going to do is protect the flanks, like so here. And you can see this fellow has at least a one attack here, and this fellow is covering the building, and we're going to um, cover this area as well. And it's best to put them in locations where they can skulk and route back. So that's fine. As where's Dawes going to go? Hmm. Dawes is great for. Hey, put this guy up there. Dawes is great for keeping people from cavalry. So we'll put him there. All right. We set up our Americans. We can just put the turn marker there. Now, as the German player, we got to think about how we're going to best attack these folks. Um, do we do a headlong attack? Do we stay and fire? And I think here we've just covered a lot of open ground. Um, but and then the other thing you need to think about is where are these folks going to route if they do a headlong attack, as opposed to coming in from cover. Coming through here now kind of puts us in a bit of jeopardy because of the mortar, and also although we are restricted in turn one to set up at least on hexes numbered 7 or less, these guys can advance once they know your axis of attack. Hmm. Bomb rush it, eh? Not quite. Not quite. So here, we're going to need these guys. We're going to need them somewhat. Are we going to try a bold and audacious move? You bet we will. Why not? Why not? So what we're trying to do here is build some fire groups that will come in force and try and inflict damage on the American player. Let's see how well we can execute our plan here. So we're not allowed stacking, overstacking. Hmm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 to there. This would have been a good position to put one of the infantry guns, despite the fact that they're in woods. Okay. It looks like I'm stacking, but in fact I'm not. Okay. There we go. Let's remove all moves. I'm a bit heavy-handed in terms of going front and from the right, but we'll see how everything transpires. Put this there. So German turn 1, rally phase. I've already more or less done my rally phase. And these guys are like this. These guys are like that. This guy is like that. There. All right. Rally phase. Absolutely nada. Absolutely nada. We already did the rally. Let's go on to movement or prep fire. Prep fire none. Movement. Okay, here it comes. All right. Now assault movement, 1 to there. He can fire. Question is, does he want to fire? Um, no, not yet. So 1 to there. 2. It's non-assault movement. 3, 4. Um, now he'll fire and hope for rate, but he doesn't have rate. Okay, so he'll fire there. And it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 hexes away. Infantry target type. I'm using the advanced ASL rules. Um, so 8 infantry target type. Um, and let's write it down. Okay. At 7 hex range, it is a base 8 infantry target type. -1 for first fire non-assault movement. He's not firing in the open, so there's no FFMO. And +2 for the temp. That's about it. So it's a 7 to hit. That's a critical hit. Boy, I think that guy's blown up. Too bad I don't have rate. Um, so ordinarily with that situation, um, the 30 becomes a 60. Let's resolve it on the 36 column and the -2. So IFT, that's an 8. looks like a 4 morale check. And my ALR is 3. So I guess this guy fell ALRs and breaks. Could be doing this wrong. I've never had such a huge number of firepower factors. He first fired. He did not get rate. And with 36, there's at least 12 residuals in there. Oh, that sucks. All right, here we go again. 1, non-assault movement. 2, and this time he'll fire the mortar. Leader directed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. At 9 hex range, it's still a base 7 because it's a star type weapon. Okay, and -1 for FFMO and -1 for FNAM makes it a 9 to hit. Hit, but no rate. So we got a big -1 accurate there. Since we don't have not any rate, we're going to end up having residuals there. And he first fired his support weapon. So it's a 4 even shot. 5 on the floor. This is a 1 check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pins. And we have 2 residuals in there. We're trying to assault that position, drawing fire. I'm not too sure if it's prudent at all. All right, let's go again. 1, 2, 3, and his range is, I believe, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So, but 2 down 2. 5 on the 2. Table is on normal. He breaks. And we got 2 residuals in there. Okay. So they first fired. Now we'll try and go CX. Or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We can't go CX. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see what happens here. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we'll let him have it with machine gun. 8 down 3. 11. That's an 8 on the 8, which is a normal morale check. 9. Breaks but does not AOR. And we leave 4 residuals in there. And he first fired his support weapon. It was leader directed. Now we're going to go CX. We're going to go double time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll take another 8 down 2 this time because the leader directed the machine gun fire on a different attack. 8 down 2. The coward was 6. It wasn't leader directed, was it? No. We're using the leader modifier. So we got, it's an 8, now it's a 6. On the 4 is a 2 MC. He breaks in EORs. EORs and breaks. Break, EOR, and break. Doesn't look good. All right. One dude made it. So here we're going to go 1 to there, 2 to there. And now we're going to go 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, and 3. He also first fired completely. There you go. Here we're going to go double time. 2, 4, and 6. Now he will fire there. Let's draw the line of sight. Ooh, does not touch the hindrance. Range of 7. A range of 7 on the infantry fire type table in the advanced book, it is a 7 to hit. Base 7. So let's draw that one out. So 7, infantry target type, -1 for first fire and non-assault movement, +1 for the TEM. And do we have any other modifiers? Nope. So it's the negative and the positive dice roll modifiers cancel each other out. So it's a straight up 7 to hit. Hits. So now we got a 105, which is on the 20 table, 20 even. Pintash check. And he pins. Now his Zach comes to here, and that's gun C, first fired. Just like so. That dude pinned, and it was on the 20 table, so half of 20 is 8. And we'll put 8 residuals in there. A good old Nettleson, he's going to come in as a stack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to there. And this dude prevents him from advancing, which this fellow now will turn his covered arc and fire there. So let's do that one. Let's take a look and see. His target is in X9, which is 12 hexes away. All fine and dandy. So here we'll do the calculus. So we said it was 12 hex range. I like the fact that the range is there. I wish there was also a reference to the hindrances over there as well. It helps, because sometimes I forget if there was hindrances or not. In this case, there wasn't. So range of 12, the infantry target type is a base 7 again, ITT. It's not a star or L type weapon, so there's no to hit modifications. And it's +1, -1, which is 10, and first fire and assault movement. 7 to hit. 3, which is half of what less than half of what he needed. So that's a critical hit as well, I believe. On the infantry target type, when you roll half of what you need to hit, it's a critical hit. So one of these fellows will get the penalty. So leader and first squad, second, third. Now ordinarily, Um, Ordinarily, in the advanced game, three people would get 3 units would get the critical hit, but in this case, that's not the case. We have to re-roll leader, first squad, second squad. Now it's a tie between. Uh, no, it's the here. Leader for second squad gets a critical hit. Everybody else gets a normal. So the normal here is a 1 of 5. It's a 20 even shot. Okay, here comes a 20 even. Well, it's going to be the same dice roll. Whoa, 20 even. 4 is a K4, so we're going to have to roll for that. And the other squad is probably eliminated. This squad is eliminated. Yep. And chances are so is his weapon. All right, so his weapon goes. Let's put the casualties here. This guy is kaput, and the other fellows we're going to have to roll uh, another uh, another random selection to see. Um, this is more devastating than the first time I played it. To see who gets the K. So leader, first squad, second, last squad. So he gets casualty reduced. And now a 4 morale check. And our ELR is 3. All right, morale check of 3. Oh, morale check 4. ELRs and breaks. 3 plus 4 is 7. The second squad pins. Half squad, ELRs and breaks. So there's one unit that pinned. Everybody else just became chopped liver. I just well put this squad on the bottom. There we go. Oh boy. He first fired. This unit will come in and will go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll do a 1 down 2. 3 on the 1. There's a 1 MC. I couldn't make this up. Half squads. Oh, ELRs and half squads. And breaks. So this guy fired. These guys will assault move to here. And this fellow is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. And this fellow will go 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know why I put the leader. Separately like that. I was supposed to move each squad individually and come closer to these folks, but I decided not to. Okay. All right. Let's go to defensive fire. Remove all residuals. He's still marked under first fire. He can fire adjacent. So what do we got there? An 8. An 8 on 1. Let's do an 8 on 1 there. 9 on the 8 is a pin check, so he doesn't have to roll it. I'm not going to do any more firing, so advance fire. Now, believe it or not, we have these units that have line of sight to there. But well, this guy's quartered, so there's no fire point in having him fire. And I'm not too sure if he has line of sight. But I don't have to worry about snipers. Alright, we do have line of sight, so it's a 1 and a 2. Makes it a 3, which goes down back to 2. 2 up 3. No hope, no chance of killing anybody. So let's go to route phase. This should be interesting. And let's remove all fire. Alright, so this fellow will low crawl to here. This fellow will low crawl back. This fellow can low crawl back. But this fellow is probably eliminated for failure to route because he cannot go there, 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 or there, or here. So he's eliminated for failure to route. Put him in our makeshift casualty bin. Okay, so let's go to advance phase. Remove all the moves. He certainly cannot advance, but this fellow can. This fellow can. The fellow on the bottom can. I didn't really need to route them, but if I could, I would have routed them like this. I don't think anybody has interdiction. Let's take a look. Nope, and they continue to the woods over there. Oh, this guy has to route because he's, well, he is in concealment terrain, but he's not in rally terrain, so there we go. Have to have an overall view of the board here. Alright, so that's my route and my advance. Advance those folks. These guys would advance here. I didn't fire at them, or didn't fire anywhere. Okay, and everybody else is there. Close combat, there's none. Okay, remove all the moves. Let's go to American player turn 1, rally phase. Of course, there are no rallies for the Americans because none of the Americans are broken. We can remove all pins. And we do have a rally here for the German player. So he needs a 4. Nope, but their DM comes off. And the DM comes off from here. The other fellows are going to stay with DM because they need to route. Okay. Comes the prep fire phase. Dials will fire there. So it's 8 to hit. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 hex range. Area fire. It's a 7, base 7, -1 for the AC. So that's a 8 to hit. Hit, but no rate. And a 2 even shot. 10, nothing. He can fire his inherent firepower at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2 even shot right there. Nope. And he prep fired. Jackson is going to fire with his MG leader directed at 8 up 1 from here to there. Normal morale check for this fellow. Morale check. Passes, and then they're going to roll a 4 even shot here to there. 4 on the 4. It's a 1 check, so they both need to roll a 6. 6 top to bottom. Once. Breaks. Bottom one breaks, but they don't ELR. So we just broke up the fire group. He prep fired. Okay. This big boy will fire over there. Let's take a look at the range. 5. So it's 8 infantry target type. Base 8. Let's do it together. 8 infantry target type. And plus 2 10 makes it a 6 to hit. 11. Nearly broke his gun. So now his ACK goes there. And he prep fired. This fellow will fire there. And it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 hex range. Infantry target type is a base. Seven, and the acquisition cancels the 10. So pure 7 to hit. Hits and rate. So now we got a 105. We got 105. A 105 is 20, even shot. 11. Believe it or not, that's a normal morale check. Rolls for morale checks. 6 passes. That 10 is now -2. So we'll need a 8 to hit. Ooh, I think that's a critical hit because it's less than half of what I needed to hit. So let's roll it. So that's 9 on the 36, I suppose. So that's a 3 check. Breaks but does not LR. He prep fired. No, he prep fired. He'll prep fire there. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hexes away. 8 to hit. Hit and rate. And he is B. So a 105 straight up is a 20 even shot. 7 on 20 is a 2 check. 9 plus 2 is 11. He LRs and breaks. And this dude here also prep fired. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, they're out of range really. So the best thing you can do is try and ELR them. He didn't have a range. He didn't have line of sight to Y10, but he might have line of sight here. Yep. Now is a range of 5. So it's a 1 up 1. 7. If I rolled a 3, I would have gotten a normal morale check. So they're ELR'd. They're DM'd. There you go. And he prep fired. Which was stupid of me to do, but it saves me some time. So this thing here looks like a complete mess. The whole attack failed. Except this dude. What's he still doing up there? Looks like he survived it. I'm not sure. Understand this guy. I don't know how I missed him. Getting old in my old age. All right. So now comes movement. We'll do some non-assault movement. Um, Gotta watch out for this dude. But let's see. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's just move these guys here. Double time. There. 2, 4, 6. Double time this fellow. Uh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This fellow will skulk back, and we're good. Let's go back to movement. We'll do an 8 up 3. No effect, serves me right. Actually, yeah, 8 plus 3 is 11, so it's no effect. Here to there, because that's part of our objective. Is there anybody in there? He's actually here. Nope, he's actually there. There. So when you hover over, you can see what the unit was there. All right, so that's a range of 7. So a 3 and a 2 makes a 5, so it's a 4 up 2 because he's in place. No effect. Now how much firepower do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So everybody is halved for the infantry fire. So that's 6 plus 5 is 11. We have an 8 up 1 there. 9 is just a task check. So task check makes it. That was a waste of time. Final fire. So now Bert's, he should have line of sight directly to there. 7 to hit with the mortar. Nope. But we do get a knock. Cool. Looks like this is one of these things that it's going to be done in a couple of turns. Advancing fire none. Let's go to route. Let's clean up the board. That's a good way of cleaning up the board. There you go. Prep and def. And it is route phase. The American has to route first, but Americans don't have any routes. So these fellows will low crawl to there. Low crawl to can't go there because you're getting closer to that guy. Let's take a look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, so he has to go there. This guy goes here. These guys go back 1. This guy goes back 1. Low crawls. And this guy here will do 2 and 4. And I got a headache. I got a headache. Should Jackson get into close combat with this dude? Let's go to advance. Ah, why not? Let's see how this thing works out. Okay, close combat. So let's roll for ambush. I got a -1 for the Americans. Oh God. It ain't going to happen, man. It ain't going to happen. So American gets ambushed. And we have a 1 to 2 -1. A 1 to 2 -1. A 4 to a 6. All right, let's see what happens. But yeah, let's see what happens. The German has to roll first. Nope. Okay, now Jackson. I'm not sure if yeah Jackson's leadership DRM cancels the ambush, so it's 3-2 even. I need 6 or less. One more than he needed. They're locked in melee, which really sucks. So let's go to rally phase. Turn 2. Boink. Let's remove all moves. Now we can have one self rally. All looks dismal. Let's self rally this dude here. Nope. His DM comes off. Everybody else is in jeopardy. This fellow's DM comes off. And here, that fellow needs a 4. Nearly killed himself. Alright. Looks like I found a kink in the scenario. Looks like I found a good place to put the guns. Because I didn't in the first time or the second time I played this. Technically, they are 2 or less hexes away from one another. Okay. So German rally phase is over. Prep fire. Are we going to prep fire? Of course we will. So we got a 4 up 2 there. Nothing. That doesn't bode well. And then this fellow is going to fire there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to hit. I need an 8 actually. And I hit with rate. And don't forget about our bursts. So that's a 50. Halved is a 2. A 2 down 1. 4 on the 2 table is a 1 check. Boy, I think he LRs. LRs 2, yep, he LRs. Okay, now we'll fire there. And this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 area target type. Still a 7, +1 for the hindrance. There you go. So it's a 6 to hit. Hit, but no rate, and a 2 down 1. 7 on the 2 is just a miss. And he prep fired. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, just out of normal range. So he prep fired. Here in Mayor, what's he going to do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Mayor's going to go like this. This fellow is going to go double time. So it's 1 to there. 2, 3, 4. Now, he stands a chance of losing him, so he's going to take a shot at 1 down 2. 5 on the 1 table is a pin toss check. And he pins. And he had 1 infantry firepower attack, so that does not do anybody any good. And what we're going to do now is roll this guy in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 to there. So far, so good. We're beginning to see a crack. That was movement, defensive fire. He first fired already. Okay. So all these guys are broken. So now we're going to fire tank C to there. Let's see, gun C. On a sight, let's see. Right. So 8 range, 1 hindrance, infantry target type. Infantry target type at range 8 is 7, plus 1 for the hindrance, and plus 1 for the tem, makes it a 5 to hit. Nope, but this hack goes there. Now tank D or tank gun D will rotate its turn once, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hexes away. I think it's 7, base 7 to hit, plus 3 because it changed covered arc, and plus 1 for the woods. Makes it 2 to hit. Close, but no cigar. And its hack now comes to there. And they both final fired. Tank B ordinarily fired there. He doesn't have to change his covered arc, and he's well within the covered arc. So let's take a look at the range. And 2 to X9, range 12. Beautiful. A range of 12. It's 7 if target type, plus 1 for the tem is a 6 to hit. Hit and rate? No, did not hit. But he did get rate. Now it's a 7. Really broke his gun. So that guy got rate. So B is at a negative 2 AC over there. Oh, sorry. Yawning here. Been a long day. Okay, advancing fire. None. Should I roll against him? Yeah, it's an 8 up 1. Let's do it. It's a pin. No can do. There you go. That's all I got. Route phase again. So this fellow is going to route back. We should have removed the move and prep fires. Fire. This fellow is going to route back. And that's all she wrote. Let's advance. So this unit is going to advance to there. And I believe all the acts will ride along with them. And this fellow will advance the cure. This guy is on, yeah, I'd like to say he's on speed, but he isn't on speed. He is pinned. This fellow will advance to there. I believe, yeah, it goes away because he moved. Okay, close combat. Now we got a straight up 3 to 2, -1, and a 1 to 2. A 1 to 2 first. Nope. And our 3 to 2 -1, 7 or less. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's actually a 6 with the leadership DRM, so he's a Vanner. Hmm. Oh well. No more melee. So it's now actually, let's remove all moves. It's actually American Rally phase. And, oh, it's actually, yeah, American Rally phase. And the American can try and rally this unit for Snake Eyes. Nope, DM comes off. This guy's DM comes off because he's in the woods. These guys stay on. And Medelson will try and recover, rally. He rallies. And the squad needs a 7. Gets it. Oh, too bad. Just a lonely half squad. Okay, American fire. Now I'm asking myself, why do I need the mortar? And why do these fellows, what do I need the mortar for? I can drop the mortar, go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that basically will force the Germans back off the board and eliminate all these squads by virtue of moving. But then we've got Mayer here with an MMG. Oh crap. Yeah. So seeing the MMGs there, I'm going to first have to prep for a couple of things. First and foremost, gun delta will fire there. So this is pretty straightforward to calculate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hex range. So it's an 8 infantry target type plus 1 for the 10. So that's a 7 to hit. Does not hit. My luck is starting to turn, but his act goes to there now. And he prep fired. You can try and intensify. So by intensifying, I gotta add 2. Um, but if I do that and I break my gun, that would be ludicrous. So this fellow will fire there. And it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10, a range of 10, infantry target type is a 7, base 7 to hit, plus 1 for the woods makes it a 6 to hit. Let's do that. 1 more than I needed, and that's tank B. Flip, and go there. Now, I'm not sure if I have line of sight here to there. I'm just going to play it safe and try and hit this fellow here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Minus 1 ack, plus 1 tem, cancel each other out. 7 to hit, I believe. Let's double check it. Nope, but his ack becomes a negative 2. Okay, Jackson is going to fire there. Let's see how long far gone they are. There they are. Hex 8. So it's a 6 even shot. Boom. 8 on the 6 is just a pentash check, so I need an 8 and 2 sevens. Pins, and one squad and a um, one squad with the MMG pins, and so does Mayo. Mayor. Who's Mayo? All right, so let's put a pin marker there. And I believe there's no rate on that gun. Ruts. So he prep for it as well. I believe these guys prep for it as well. Okie dokie. Should have removed all pins from the last one. Nelson is up. Pretty cool. Now, do I still want to move this dude? Yes, I do. And a squad with a leader holding 5 portage points can move. I'll tell you that in a second. 5 portage points. MC with a leader is 5. So we're going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 there. And this fellow is going to just drop back like that. Cool. Now let's go to the movement phase. Defensive fire. Well, defensive fire. You'll fire there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if they have a 6, 6 up 2. Missed. And here they're halved. The 4, 6, 7, and the 5 is halved. So 9 halved is 4.5. Goes down to 4. And the other fellows, due to range, is only 2. So we'll have fire at 6 up 2 again. Eight on the 6 is a pentash check and a pin. And I got no other fire. Advancing fire, none. Route, these guys don't need to route. They're still under DM. So there's no route. Advance. This fellow will advance to there. This fellow will advance to there. These boys will advance to here. All out of team. This fellow will advance back. We should have gotten rid of all the prep and residuals. And defensive fire. And close combat, we have none. Remove all the pins. Let's go to turn 3. So what do we have here so far? We got a mess. That's what I think. We got a real mess. I think this time the Americans really did a number on the Germans. And that hasn't been the case with my last play. Hmm. So it appears that this little triangle is a key element in preventing the German attack. Um, so I'll conclude the game here because I've gone into at least an hour's worth of time, and it's worth analyzing. So what we got here is they're away from the buildings, and for one reason or another, I thought that I could overwhelm Jackson, but I didn't. And this little setup is pretty good because even if I turn this way, I can thwart an attack coming from this location. Um, and then what's key is, like I said before, I am covering a great amount of ground here. If the Germans decided to go through here, they simply turn their covered arc to there, right? So at this juncture, we have all this covered. And if that isn't the case, if you turn again your covered arc this way, you have now pretty much uh, the whole board covered. So that's something to think about. And in that case, the Germans have to be really smart in their how they maneuver and approach the Americans, because as you can see here, they could end up uh, demoralized and with nowhere to route. I can show you briefly what happened in the other game that I played because I've kept pictures. So I'll pause and pop up the pictures to show you what happened in my earlier game. So here are the pictures of my earlier game. And notice that I tried to spread out my setup for the guns and try to thwart an attack using infantry and not realizing that I have a lot of open ground here and a blind spot here uh, for the guns at least. But for Jackson, he is covering this area here. Um, let's zoom in a little bit here. See? Dawes is covering one flank. The half squads are covering this flank. But the brunt of the attack now is in two axes or three axes of attack for the Germans, and they kind of did pretty well. So here's what happened here. I established an attack here with a mortar. This gun was taken out with not by the Germans, but by an unlucky roll. We bum rushed the Americans on their left flank because they were facing this way. Um, and our good leaders coming from an area where, hey, just didn't pop up. These guys were rushed as well, and we took over the stone building. Once a German player takes over this stone building, it's game over, really. Because let's face it, an 8 attack, yeah, a base 8 to hit an infantry in stone building, right? That gives you a plus 310. And then you have to roll an average shot after you acquire or you shot after you shot twice at the target. You get a minus 2 AC, but it's still going to be at least at 7 to hit. So for the first couple of turns, the German player will probably be able to fire back at you before you can get the beat on him from a building of cover of this nature. So we managed to break this gun here. This fellow kind of broke under pressure. This gun was pretty successful here. Let's face it, it's a 155, but um, Medelson here is coming in full force. And now we got to establish a fire group here. This fellow also broke his gun, which was dismal. Uh, we captured the MMG here because we overrun the position here. And then we finally went in two different directions. And with this fellow here, he can't move. He's a large target. Not that it matters in this game because we're not firing with any ordnance, but still it is a large target. And we tried to position the mortar here to take him out as well. And a couple of self-rallies here. So there's gun number one gone due to bad luck. Gun number two broke. And over here, uh, the flank was not well protected, and the German player took advantage of that. By turn 4, we took over all the guns, and it was too late for anybody to do anything, and these guys ultimately jumped in with a 155 into close combat. And the reason why I guess we were able to do that was, I guess there was a bad positioning of the American mortar and machine gun. Um, that was pretty much it. So having a strong defensive position helps the Americans, although they're grossly outnumbered. Yeah. So that's my 2 cents about scenario 12 over open sights. I apologize for yawning a little bit, not a lot. Um, I hope you enjoyed the content, and the next video will be a replay, play-by-play action of a relatively new scenario, and I hope you will like it. And then, like I said before, I will try and dig out my research that I've done with respect to paratroopers and try to play a little scenario with Russians versus the Germans, with the Russians doing a paradrop. And during the Second World War, I vaguely remember an event where the Soviets did try to um, a paradrop, and they failed miserably, and never did such an operation again. So we'll see how it works out and see if how I mastered the rules more or less. Yep. Okay then. That's it for now. And once again, the channel grew, much to my surprise and my amazement. I'd like to thank everybody for subscribing, and stay tuned for more fun and action. Take care and have a great weekend.